The week began with the sound every Texans fan had been waiting to hear. The sound of an offense finally working the way it was designed to. After weeks of criticism, adjustments, and doubts about the new system, Stroud silenced all the noise and answered on the field, leading Houston's offense with the calm of a veteran and the precision of someone who truly understands what it means to have complete control of the attack. At M&T Bank Stadium, in front of more than 70,000 people, what unfolded was a masterclass. 44-10, the final score, doesn't just show dominance, it shows transformation. That unit that just 2 weeks ago struggled to align protection, rhythm, and communication became a synchronized mechanism where every snap seemed perfectly timed, as if Stroud had an invisible metronome dictating the rhythm of each play. The new offensive coordinator, Nick came in with a bold proposal, giving the quarterback full authority to make adjustments at the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what we saw. Stroud read the Ravens' defense, changed protections, switched routes, and even signaled last-minute audibles. Nothing was improvised. It was tactical control, intelligence, and confidence. For longtime fans of the team, it felt like the rebirth of an offensive identity Houston hadn't seen since the best years of DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. And here's the point that made many fans doubt this was really happening. It wasn't just a good game, it was complete technical dominance. Stroud completed 23 of 27 passes, threw 4 touchdowns, had no interceptions, and posted an 85.2% completion rate, the best of his career. But the detail that impressed Ryans the most was something else: the way the quarterback changed the game's rhythm, managing the clock and completely confusing Baltimore's defense. In just a moment, we'll reveal one of Stroud's boldest decisions in the second quarter when he went against the coordinator's original call and, with a simple route adjustment, created a touchdown the Ravens had no idea where it came from. That play symbolizes the new Texans. During the first drive, Stroud set the tone right away. Without rushing, alternating short passes with well-timed runs by Nick Chubb, the team advanced with no mistakes. The offensive line, which had been heavily criticized, looked rejuvenated. No fumbles, no major penalties, and a rare consistency on third downs, 7 conversions in 12 attempts. The result? Time of possession of 36 minutes and 33 seconds compared to only 23 for the opponent. That's not just time control, it's mental dominance. It's dictating the game. Now, going back to that play from it was the second quarter, the scoreboard showed 10-3, and Houston had the ball on Baltimore's 20-yard line. The original call was for a short crossing pass, but Stroud noticed something no one on the sideline had seen. The safety was too far up. He quickly signaled for Nico to change his route, and the result was a 10-yard touchdown. It wasn't in the plan, but the plan was his, and that's what sets him apart. Head coach Ryans himself said after the game, "CJ is playing with the vision of a coordinator on the field." That sentence sums up everything the video's title promises. But Stroud's control didn't stop there. On every drive, he read the opposing linebackers' movements like someone anticipating the opponent's chess moves. And it was in that rhythm that the connections with Xavier Hutchinson and Jalen Noel emerged, each one a direct result of adjustments made right at the snap. The offense didn't just put up 44 points, it was the highest total in the NFL that week, and also broke a franchise record, the most points scored on the road in Texans history. In a moment, we'll show how a protection change made by Stroud saved a play that looked lost and turned into one of the most beautiful passes of the game, leaving even the offensive coordinator speechless. The impact was so great that even the raw numbers seemed to tell an emotional story. There were 417 total yards, no turnovers, and a sequence of drives where the team seemed to run on autopilot without falling into monotony. The harmony between Stroud and the offensive line was something new. The center reacted to his signals, and the blitz reads were nearly perfect. Baltimore even tried to apply pressure with different packages, but Stroud read everything before the snap, adjusting blocks and throwing too quickly to be touched. This new dynamic even changed the profile of the wide receivers. Hutchinson, once a supporting player, shined with 2 touchdown receptions. Collins, with his usual explosiveness, became the reliable outlet in short zones. And Jalen Noel, the rookie, capped off the celebration with another touchdown in the fourth quarter. All of it guided by a quarterback who didn't just seem to execute the playbook, but seemed to conduct the game with mastery. The fans noticed. On social media, many commented that for the first time, the offense looked like it knew exactly what it wanted to do on every play. And in fact, that was the difference. Control, composure, vision. 3 words that define the new Stroud. Up next, we'll break down what happened at halftime, when Nick, Caley, and Stroud had a quick locker room conversation that completely changed the offensive plan for the second half, and how that adjustment dismantled the Ravens' defense once and for all. This combination of confidence and execution turned an October game into a statement of identity. The Texans didn't just win, they rebuilt their image. And if before the question was whether CJ Stroud could lead a remodeled offense, now the question is different. Is there any defense prepared for what Houston showed in Baltimore? At halftime, with the score already in their favor, the scene in the locker room was symbolic. Nick Caley walked in holding the tablet, showing coverage reads, and before he could finish his sentence, Stroud completed it. "They're changing the shell on the second level. We're going to attack the flat on the opposite side." It was at that moment that the entire staff realized the quarterback wasn't just executing the plan, he was the plan. Next, we'll show how that 2-minute conversation became the turning point of the second half and transformed an efficient offense into a machine that Baltimore simply couldn't stop. When the third quarter began, the adjustment showed up right on the first drive. Stroud started varying the snap count to confuse the pass rush, which opened space for Dameon Pierce's outside runs and short double progression passes. Baltimore's defense began to hesitate. With each cadence change, Houston's offensive line gained a fraction of a second, and that detail was enough. In football, a fraction of a second is what separates an ordinary play from a masterpiece. The result was immediate. A touchdown on a 9-play, 78-yard drive, sealed with a connection to Noah Brown in the corner of the end zone. And that was the signature of the new offense: variable rhythm, precise passing, and total control of the clock. Fans noticed something different. There was no rush, no improvisation, but also no rigidity. It was fluidity. Stroud was so comfortable that he even changed entire calls using only hand signals, and the confidence of the offensive line grew along with him. Right tackle Howard said afterward, "When he looks at us before the snap, we already know what's coming." He conveys confidence. In a moment, we'll reveal a third-quarter play that started with a headset communication error and ended with a touchdown improvised on the spot by Stroud, something that even had head coach Ryans laughing on the sideline. There were 5 minutes left in the third quarter when Caley's headset failed for a few seconds. In situations like that, protocol calls for the quarterback to call a timeout, but Stroud did the opposite. He looked at the receivers, signaled an adjusted route, and commanded the snap. The Ravens' defense showed blitz, but backed off at the last moment. Stroud identified the linebacker's drop and threw a 28-yard pass to Collins, who broke 2 tackles and went all the way to the end zone. The coach just smiled and said after the game, "He's no longer a developing player. He's the brain of the offense." That maturity spread throughout the roster. On the other side of the field, even Houston's defense seemed fueled by the offensive rhythm. Every time the offense scored, Jalen and Will Anderson came back with more intensity, as if they sensed the team's identity was being rebuilt in real time. And that's the kind of energy you can't train. It comes when the leader on the field delivers exactly what he promises. Shortly, you'll understand why this 44-10 victory meant more than just numbers. It was the game in which the entire locker room realized the Texans had found their true commander. In the final minutes, the offense didn't need to prove anything. Even so, Stroud continued controlling the pace, using the play clock with surgical precision, calling runs only to burn time and protect the lead. This is the part of the game that rarely makes the highlight reel, but it defines a great quarterback: the ability to finish a win with the same composure with which it began. The clock ran down, the stadium emptied, and the feeling was that Houston had taken a leap in maturity. The final numbers are just the reflection. 23 of 27 passes completed, 244 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, a rating of 143.8, and no turnovers. But behind the numbers, there is something greater: the respect of the roster. After the game, DeMeco Ryans said something that resonated with everyone. "This team will go as far as Stroud wants to take it, and the teammates believe it." Nico commented that the on-field communication felt telepathic. Running back Dameon Pierce said he had never felt so confident in his blocking reads. Even rookie Jalen Noel, who scored a touchdown, revealed that Stroud guided him at the exact moment before the snap on which angle to take. These details show that the quarterback doesn't just play, he teaches while playing. Before we wrap up, we'll reveal a behind-the-scenes detail from the post-game that shows exactly what it means to take full control of Houston's offense. Right after the win, while the team was still celebrating in the locker room, Stroud called the offensive group for a quick meeting. No celebration, no party. He projected the plays on the tablet and pointed out where they could still improve, even after scoring 44 points. The veterans looked on and understood. The standard had changed. The team had a leader who was not satisfied with good performances. He wanted perfection. And perhaps that is the most symbolic point of all. In Baltimore, the Texans didn't just win a game, they gained an identity. The offense exploded, yes, but what truly impresses is how it happened, with discipline, reading, and confidence in a quarterback who already seems to see the field in slow motion. C.J. Stroud didn't just execute the plan, he redefined what it means to be the commander of an NFL offense. And for Houston fans, one thing is certain. If this was just the beginning of the new system, what comes next could be even more impressive. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.